The only constant that I could go back to was always music. It's always been in my life in one way or another, in different forms.
Was there a particular moment that flipped the switch for you to say, okay, I got to get behind the jack?
In 2016, I went to Burning Man for the first time. I wasn't even planning on going, but it just happened. I remember I witnessed a couple sets discovering electronic music and the rave culture, and I really felt like I belonged there and I wanted to explore it a little bit more. I just saw how it moved me. It was I want to do that. Everyone was so depressed leaving. I was so excited. I was I cannot wait to go back, get things started.
This was a scene that you felt like you fit in. Your Instagram bio reads, quote, "Not here to fit in."
It's not rebellion for the sake of rebellion. Fitting in and a feeling of belonging, to me, they're two different things. I'm growing. I'm learning that, belonging matters more than fitting in.
Niki, thank you for coming over to Tiny Table Radio.
Thanks for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
First thing I want to know about you is, what is your origin story of DJing and producing?
Oh, that's a big one. So it's sort of personal. Music has always been that constant in my life, the opposite of everything else, being born in Iran and then immigrating. The only constant that I could go back to was always music. So it's always been in my life in one way or another, in different forms. And then DJing, I guess it started from me discovering electronic music and the rave culture. And I really felt like I belonged there and I wanted to explore it a little bit more. And it just organically started from there, basically.
And you discovered the rave culture in Toronto?
Vancouver.
In Vancouver.
Yeah.
Okay.
A small scene, but lots of talent has historically came out of there, Jay Tripwire, just to name a few, and Bob Moses.
Was there a particular moment, maybe on the dance floor, maybe not, that kind of flipped the switch for you to say, okay, I got to get behind the decks. I got to figure out what this is about?
Yeah, there were a couple moments, but the one that I always remember and I always mention it is in 2016, I went to Burning Man for the first time. I wasn't even planning on going, but it just happened. And I went, and I remember I witnessed a couple sets, and I just saw how it moved me, given the environment and the people, and I was I want to do that. I really want to do that. And it just really hit me, and then I was so happy and motivated that everyone was so depressed leaving. I was so excited. I was I cannot wait to go back and get things started. And yeah, everything just started from there for me.
Do you remember whose sets they were?
There were a couple. The first one was Mira and Chris's set at this camp called a Pile Palace, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
And there were all just lots of couches, and yeah, it was super comfy. The other
Nice.
one was Rampu at the White Ocean. And it was happening right in the middle of a storm, so it made it surreal to be there. And yeah, that was really, really something I'll never forget.
The Rampu comes up a lot as an
Yeah.
inspiring set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And you said this was a scene that you felt like you fit in. Your Instagram bio reads, quote, "Not here to fit in." So you feel like you fit in this culture, but what does that mean, and why is that quote specifically important for you to have on a public Instagram bio?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that statement is not supposed to be. It's not rebellion for the sake of rebellion, and fitting in and a feeling of belonging, to me, they're two different things. Coming from my background and trying to move through different cultures all my life, that has been a skill that I developed to try to fit in and try to maybe smooth out some of the edges to just be more digestible, easily digestible for people. And then as I'm growing, I'm learning that belonging matters more than fitting in. That's why I just put that as a reminder. I'm not trying to fit in to fit into any algorithm, or just to be accepted by a genre, or a vibe, or a trend. I'm just being me, and I just want to be unapologetically myself.
And do you feel like that actually helps you find people who you feel like you belong with more?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, yeah, it's just it's a great filter now. Whoever I'm very comfortable with, they just instantly become friends, and then it's as if I've known them for all my lifetime,
Yeah.
and it's a great feeling for sure.
I really sense that with you too. And even, a few days ago you played it at Signal,
Mhm.
and you just came up and like put your arm around me. I didn't even know you were coming up behind me, and I was like, oh, this is a friend I've known for years, you know, and
Exactly.
like we've connected more recently than a few years ago. So
Mhm.
I would say that you're definitely speaking the truth there with that. Have you faced any big challenges as an artist by staying so true to yourself?
For sure, yeah. Basically, the thing that happens is because I'm not, like, algorithm friendly or my content is not that, algorithm friendly, I kinda get sometimes isolated, and I think, like, a lot of promoters and even, like, labels, because of, like, what they see and what they hear, they don't know where to put me, and that has sort of, like, affected a lot of things in the past. But, honestly, I'm at that stage in, my, journey as an artist that I prefer to stay authentic than to just, like, chase opportunities.
Hmm.
So I don't mind it, to be honest.
And you feel like those opportunities are still coming for you in a way that you want them to?
Yes and no, but, yeah, the ones that are coming in are the ones that are, a lot more aligned with who I am today. So,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe it's a blessing in disguise after all, you
sure.
know?
And you were born in Iran, raised in Canada, and you live in New York now.
Mhm.
How does that blend of background and experiences really influence your art?
Yeah, my life is a tapestry, honest, of cultures. No, but, hey. Mhm.
Yeah.
The best way to put this is like being born in Iran and like I lived there until like my early teens. It gave me a lot of depth and like seeing beauty in little things and at the same time seeing the big picture but actually appreciating the little things as well.
Mhm.
And so it gave me a lot of like sensitivity about these things. Canada gave me structure and gave me a space to develop myself and feel safe. In the States and in New York, I found that confidence to just like to have a voice because we cannot hide in the city.
Yeah.
You definitely have to have a voice. And it just pushed me to have that edge. And I'm grateful for all of that. Yeah, for
Nice.
sure.
Your music is very much like it doesn't fit necessarily in one
Mhm.
specific genre or box. Would you attribute some of that to that?
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Because it's like whatever I play is an extension of my personality and my experiences. And I love that because music is like one thing that my dad really taught me from an early age is not to discriminate against genres and try to understand them. And that kind of applies today still. Like whenever I listen to music, it's just not like, oh, is this gonna fit this genre that I'm playing? I'm just gonna somehow incorporate it in. So yeah.
You have been fairly vocal about what's been going on in Iran today.
Mhm. Yeah.
And on a personal level, how does that influence your creative process or your creativity?
Mhm. Well, like what's happening, it's not new. It's been going on for decades. I mean, it's some sort of a trauma that has affected a lot of like, generations.
Yeah.
So it's there and I've been exposed to it. And but this time it's just like with the number of deaths and all the I guess how do I say this? Like lack of understanding and support and visibility in the like the media outlets. It's just like super sad and it's the least I can do is just to be their voice and just to try to like share stories and try to just help their narrative and just to help amplify their voices.
Yeah.
Creatively, it's a lot of grief and
Mm.
hope at the same time, and those two have both like been like main drivers behind like what I create usually. And the my sound is somewhere between lightness and darkness, and it kind of like goes between that hope and that grief. So I think it really affects that and subconsciously and maybe consciously.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. I appreciate seeing what you share about it because I don't think I would otherwise really see much
Mhm.
of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that something like that is happening in this world. I
Yeah.
appreciate that you're able to use it in a way to hopefully give people more hope rather
Yeah.
than just continue to emphasize the negative. But with the darkness, hopefully there's
Yeah,
some light
I
there.
know.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, that I'm
um,
hoping for. Yeah,
yeah,
was hoping for,
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
not a political matter like anymore. It's human rights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
it's about the people.
Yeah, lighten the mood a
So,
little bit
yeah.
after that, but stick on the creative process a little bit.
Mhm.
You typically like to mix with more than just 2 CDJs, right?
Mm,
You like to add multiple layers for multiple tracks in, so Do you have a process creatively when you're DJing for that, or do you just kind of let it flow?
It's a little bit of both, honestly, because like, I love the 2 minutes. I told you, like, when we were talking about it, I was like, "I hope you have the V10 because I want the 2 minutes." Honestly, I think it's just it goes back to my ADHD mindset too. Like, mixing from one track to the other got boring at some point for me,
Sure.
and I was like, "I wanna, like, challenge myself," and sometimes it's the curiosity, like, "I wonder if this works here,"
Mm.
and I just I don't think I'd like to bring people through that impulsiveness of myself, like,
Mm.
when I'm choosing some tracks and some moods. So, yeah, it's not, something that I think about from before, and that's part of the fun for me, you know?
Nice.
Otherwise, it would be just, like, pots playing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that you have a similar sense of this, like, elements of surprise or almost curiosity or trying to take a risk, with your productions as well?
Yes, more so these days than before because, like, for me, they're in 2 different, avenues, like DJing and production, and I started as a DJ. I mean, I always was musical, I played the guitar and whatnot, but production was, like, always that thing that I knew I'm gonna start, but I was just like, "I'm gonna be patient with it, I'm gonna, like, let it happen naturally, not just to get gigs and, like, releases and whatnot." And then, so when I started, it was, like, tiptoeing here and there, and now, like, I feel like I have the confidence technically to, like, take more risks, and, a lot of the, like, I'm sure other people say this too, like, there's some mistakes that you make that turns the track and the idea completely on its head,
Mm.
and then it becomes something else, and I love that actually. So, being, like, impulsive and risk take like, I love it, and I'm like, I always do that.
Are there any ways that you tend to take risks or certain plugins or synths or instruments that you use that are kind of your, like, I guess, your baseline for risk taking when you're producing?
Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, I started, like, only using VSTs
Uh,
and, analog, synths, they're something that I'm incorporating more these days, and I feel like it shows, my undecisiveness, like, more with, like, rotating things physically
mhm.
than trying to, surgically move a frequency on a VST or and so, like, yeah, I like playing on messing around, like, on stents and yeah.
Leaning into a little bit more of, like, the analog instrument.
Right, you're right, yeah.
Has that sort of affected, the outcome of the tracks,
It
really?
has, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, and I'm trying to incorporate more of myself in it, so I'm trying to go back to, like, me sitting with a guitar and, like, different chords, and I'm trying to incorporate that into the process somehow, so hopefully, yeah, you'll
Nice.
hear it more.
So we were able to conjure up a mixer with 2 mids for you.
Yes. I can see
And
that.
you said that that makes
Excited.
you very happy. But what about that, extra range or layer ability of control
Mm.
in a mixer do you like to have so much?
It enables me to mess around with the moods and, like, I can play, like, 3 tracks and then just take elements from each and then loop them, and with the 2 mids, I can just, like, bring them forward, and I can just mess around with it and create this new scene, basically, and, I enjoy that a lot, and I can do that forever, and sometimes, like, I catch myself, like, doing this for a long time, and I'm looking, I'm like, "Ooh, oops, maybe I should go into the next track." But whenever I'm doing that, it's just so much fun, and it's just, like, it's endless possibilities of doing things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That also makes it really hard for people to play back to back with me because 'cause I'm, like, holding on to a loop for, like, forever, and they're, like, looking at the CDJ, like, "Are you gonna like, we're gonna play a song." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Sorry.
I know, yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a different, sort of experience
Mhm,
from an observer's point of view or on the dance floor too, right? It's
mhm,
like it's much more of a it's steadier and almost smoother, even though, of course, you're, like, cutting and adding
mhm.
bass back in to, like, br build tension and whatnot, but it is different. It feels really nice when, like, you can kind of hear, like, a steadier constant that might not necessarily be in the forefront of a mix, but
Absolutely.
it's like, "Oh, that's like" and sometimes things come out more after you hear it over and over and over too, like, different
Exactly,
you
yeah.
hear different sounds, so
And another thing is that, like, if I wanna, like, play a track as is, as it's been released, everybody can listen to that, and there should be some sort of an different live experience when people come to your show and they know, maybe they know the track, but now they're hearing a different version of it.
Yeah.
I get so many messages of like, what edit was this? What and I have to explain, like, and then yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool to get those messages because it gives you that confirmation that they got what you were trying to do, So
Yeah.
that's good.
Do you ever have any, like, fallback loops in certain tracks that you're like, "I know this is gonna like, work well with what I'm
Mm.
doing on these other 2 CDJs?"
Sometimes, like, when I have, like, some back-to-back shows, like, I remember some loops and some tracks that they go together, so, like, I may repeat those, but, like, I have a bad memory, so it just only lasts for that weekend,
It was like cue points or anything, like hotkeys or memory cues for those
N
loops?
not hot cues 'cause, I don't have enough practice and I don't wanna mess around, but I loop, I cue a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be a bit more organized with my record box, and I would just, like, go through like, I would, like, dig for tracks, and then I would just, transfer them to record box, and I would analyze them, and, like,
Mm,
and now it's just, like, either I'm just, like I like that I don't know. Like, I just know the track and I like it, I'm like, "Let's see what will happen
nice.
when I'm,
So
like"
you'll bring it, cue a track in your headphones,
pretty yeah.
find the place that you wanna, you know, loop it
Mhm.
with whatever else is going on and
Yeah.
just kinda, like, on the fly almost.
Although, gotta be honest, I did put some cues for today's
Okay.
side.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
I'm a
that's
bad
not
liar, yeah, but, like, when
but
it
it's not but you don't do that for everything,
no,
and it's not always the
no,
same.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I'm always the one that, like, when I'm showing up to a gig, like, "Hey, bud,
Oh,
how's it going? Hey." I'm that, DJ that sometimes I forget my, CD like, the USBs at home, and my partner is like, "Do you have your headphones? Do you have your USBs? Please let me know." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have everything."
it's the phone keys wallet of DJs, right?
Basically, yeah.
USB
Basically.
headphones, extra USBs. Can you tell us about one of your recent favorite gigs or sets that you've had so far, and what about it stood out to you?
Hmm. Like, to this day, like, the set that I played at Fusion in 2024 still stays with me because I was sandwiched between 2 giants. I was, between Monolink and Rampu.
Okay.
And it was at the big stage that they play usually live music, and I was like, either someone, like, didn't know my sound or they thought I'm playing live or they hated me, I don't know, like, why do I and then, like, they're both, like, inspirations, and so, like, leading up to that gig for, like, half a year, I was so nervous, like, even right now, remembering, like, my hands become really cold, and then I showed up, and it's Monolink, and it's just, like, a packed, stage, I mean, dance floor, and then I show up on, like, CDJs, and, like, I was extremely nervous, and but everything went well. But I remember there was a huge storm, and a lot of people just, like, it came under the tent, and, it was something, like, really extraordinary for me. Yeah, the experience was like, it still stays with me. I mean, it's when you said that, I've done so many shows since, but that one still stands out.
How did you get over
Yeah.
the cold hands? Just start playing it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it works. Like, as long as I know the first 2, 3 tracks and I don't mess up, everything's gonna be okay.
And do you get a sense in moments like that from the crowd too of like, okay, they're picking up what I'm putting down right now?
Yeah, no, for sure. I love that connection 'cause, every time I remember, like, I was playing and I looked up and I could see they were nervous for me, and some of them, like, in the front, they could see or maybe, like, they sense, like, "Who is this
It's a big
girl?"
deal for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were really, like, sweet and warm, and they were supportive, and they just stood there and, like, they established eye contact from the very, like, first moment,
Yeah.
smiling and cheering me on, so that was really sweet,
I
yeah,
love
for
that.
sure,
That's
yeah.
great. Let's say we have a time machine and you and I can go back to visit Nikki when she was at Burning Man in 2016 when she first, saw Ramp You in the dust storm, knowing that you were going to go on and become, who you've grown into today. What's one thing if you had time for one sentence to tell that Nikki, what would you tell her?
Adjust your expectations,
Mm.
I guess, for the good and bad. 'Cause, I the highs and the lows are, when you haven't started, like you have this expectations of like your life changing and for everything to easily like come to you and everything's light and hope and everything. But there's a lot of hustle that it's not being reflected. And there's a lot of, yeah, just politics of things that it's gonna wear you down if you're not prepared for it.
Mm.
And that Nikki was just so optimistic that she found her calling that she was like, I'm just gonna like, and everything's gonna fall into. And so, yeah, I would say that like just uh, have confidence, but adjust your expectations of everything.
I am definitely someone who can get very excited and only see all the optimism and
Mm,
positivity
yeah.
of a new journey and adventure. I think that's, partly just having ADHD as well. It's like, oh, this is going
Think
to be
so.
great. Nothing's going to go wrong.
Yeah,
But also, I think being creative too. You was just like you see a blank canvas in front of you and just want to start painting.
pretty much. Yes.
Metaphorically,
Yeah.
right? You have an EP coming out. By the time this gets released, it will have come out.
Mhm.
Take us through that.
Sure. So Undertone on a really it's gonna be released or it's released on 3000 Rad. It has like two original tracks, Night Drive and Drift Till Dawn. And I got a couple sweet remixes by people I love, and I always like play their tracks, and it's just I love getting remixed. By the way, it's such an honor,
Yeah,
like to hear other people's interpretations of your music.
yeah.
Night Drive, I was actually, like, listening to it while I was driving, and I do the rough, cut of it, and I
Mhm.
was like, "This is perfect. This is exactly what I would listen to when I'm, like, driving." It has, like, elements of organic house in it, but also has that, underlying bass line and the chopped up vocals that I like.
Mhm.
And the other one, again, like, it was one of those things that came out of a mistake, one of the sounds, and then I had so much fun with it, that I, like, duplicated it and, like, put it on different sides, and that's how it just, came about, and it could have gone literally, like, it for hours, but I had to, like, limit it, so that's why I said drift till dawn.
Kinda like when that loop just stays on forever,
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. So I could do, like, so much and I could say so much, but I was like, "Okay, let's just, make it a track, not
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
like a journey." Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then yeah, and then the remixes are just, like, from, a couple people that I really look up to. So yeah, I'm just super, super happy that this has worked out the way it is, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And Midnight Drive is great. I agree. That's a great in the darkness, on the road track.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. How does the remixes come about? Do you do the outreach? Does someone come to you and say,
Mhm.
"Hey, like, do you have anything coming out? I'd love to remix it. I'd love to work to collab."
It's a combination, it really depends on the release. Like, this one, most of the remixers came from the label, with the exception of Diego, because I asked, because we were collaborating on a lot of projects recently, and I really like his sound, and I was like, "I want you to do this, like, remix of, Night Drive," and he delivered exactly what I had in mind, and he's amazing that way.
What's one piece of gear, whether in your production studio setup or um, in your DJ setup, besides the typical CDJs USB that you can't live without?
I guess there are a couple, like, plugins. The Walhalla series, like, that the delay, reverb, the room,
Mhm.
those ones I use a lot, and everything under Sound Toys.
Mm,
I love them. I use
mm.
them pretty much in all my tracks, one way or another, and yeah, they're great.
And non-music essential for every gig. Is there anything that you cannot show up to a gig without?
I guess, like, my headphone bag, I need it. But, let's see, like, I have, like, earplugs just to protect, like,
Mm.
whenever, I mean, I'm supposed to wear them when I'm playing, but I don't. But, every time I'm not, I wear them, and without them now, it's just, like now I realize I should have always worn them,
Yeah,
especially in festivals and
yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a pair that you swear by, or are they custom or?
I do, I got them from Berlin, I can give you the name as to, like, like,
Yeah,
maybe leave, under, like,
yeah,
my name now,
yeah,
but,
yeah.
yeah, they're really great, they made them custom made, and they have the molds to your ear, so, even if you lose them, they're just gonna, like, create another pair for you.
Amazing.
So,
Wow,
yeah, that's
great.
that's good, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very cool. Who is Niki Sadeki in 10 years? Who is she evolved
Oh,
to?
DJ Granny, no, I'm joking. I hope, like, she's achieved, like, the things, like, she's setting out for herself today, which is, like, she loves to do, music production for films and for documentaries, and I really like, she likes to get into that, and I hope that, like, in 10 years, she has, maybe a body of work to show for that,
I
and
look forward to seeing that happen.
yeah, me too.
Aside from the EP, any other upcoming releases or projects or shows that you are excited about that you have coming up?
I do have the collab track with Diego coming on Elif's, label soon. It's called, Blue Moon,
Mm.
and, there are a couple other remixes coming out on different, labels. One is on Akasha, Mexico, that I'm really, really excited about. And, in terms of projects, I've been trying to, like, launch my own label and my own podcast for a long time. I've
Oh,
been
yeah?
talking about it and planning it,
Oh,
but I've been just, like, stalling.
all right. Well,
So
we're gonna chat offline after this. I'm gonna
right.
I'm gonna I'm gonna hold you accountable now.
Thanks.
No, it's a lot of work.
No, I can see, and you're doing amazing.
Thank
Like,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's great.
What's your biggest dance floor pet peeve?
Ooh, like, when I'm playing or when I'm dancing?
However you want to answer that.
Like, when I'm playing, if somebody comes and asks for it, like, like, request a track, that's super annoying
Mm,
to me. Like, okay,
yeah,
alright,
yeah,
let me be like, I'm doing my job.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And, when I'm dancing, it's, when someone, like, in an uninviting way starts talking to you. Like,
Yeah.
when you're dancing and then, like, you hear and then you're like, "Oh," like that.
I I yes, I completely agree with you
I
there.
think I hit a nerve there, right?
Well, I this a couple weekends ago, I was at a show and I actually had to turn one of my friends around to watch the actual show because she was talking to my wife the entire time. They hadn't seen each other for a while. They're catching up. I'll cut her some slack. But Katie, stay out of my way if we're at a show together next time. I think she learned though.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
no unwanted yapping on the dance floor. I couldn't agree more with both of those. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Nikki. Where can our listeners follow you and stay up to date with your journey?
I recently updated my website, so nikisadeki.com. I'm still working on it, but, I guess that's a good, place to start, and then Instagram. But I'm trying to, again, like everything else, I'm trying to put together a mailing list, and
Yeah,
it's coming, it's
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. One thing I really like about your website is how the cursor is a little circle.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
so cool. I was like, what? That is, I've never seen that before. It's really, really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're finishing up our interviews by having our guests complete this sentence. To me, house music is blank.
Mm, life.
Nikki, thank you for coming over to
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me,
so much.
really, yeah.
Thanks for listening to that latest interview on Tiny Table Radio. It would help a lot if you hit that subscribe button now so I can bring on more guests and keep the show going. So hit that subscribe button now, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the set.